to Mechatroids. You are in tune to the Big Homie What's Happening podcast show. I am your host, Big Homie Vino, and I'm not proud to say, but I am a full-time convicted felon. But it was my faith in God that saved my life so I could save yours. Believe that, partner. Yes, sir. So if you love liars or conspiracy theorists that don't know what they talking about, then you in the wrong place right here, homie. Cause this is real testimonies by real people, sir. Yeah. So if you love the G.O.D. like I do with all your heart, then sit back, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab your kids, grab your lady, cause this is the Big Homie Podcast Show.
Yo, what's happening? I'm your host, Big Homie Vino, and you're on tune to another episode of Big Homie What's Happening. I got a dope show, like always. I know y'all get tired of me saying that, but it's true. Real testimonies by real people, and I got definitely a dope testimony for you tonight. I got David Williams III, aka Twin. He's in the house. He's going to give his testimony about being sentenced 48 years from Joe Biden commutating his sentence, to him just thriving and just making things happen. But most importantly, he wants the youth and all you knuckleheads, you old heads that still want to be out here messing around, he wants to put a message out there to let y'all know this ain't what's happening. But before we get into the show, you know we got to bow our heads. I'm going to lead us in the prayer, and we're going to get rocking. You get what I'm saying? Heavenly Father, I come to you today asking you to bless me and bless all the listeners. I'm asking you to bless everyone who's in conjunction with the production of this film. Father, times are getting really, really funny these days. Father, we got people that are going against us when we're trying to praise your name and preach your word. We need you to stand up for us like you always have been, but we need you to stand up a little bit more. Right now, personally myself, I've been battling all kind of different demons that's been coming at me. But I know that if I stay the course, that I'll see victory. So I need you to continue to keep your halo of protection over myself, the listeners, everyone that helps with the production. I need you to keep your halo of protection over David. I need you to keep your halo of protection over even the haters. Yes, even the haters. I know you get tired of us asking for stuff, but my mama said you got it, so let's get it. Hey, it's been a hard week for the boy, but hey, I'm rocking out. Y'all already see. I got my corporate look on. We growing. Shout out to Mercedes Streets, hottest in the hood. Shout out to OUC Films. Shout out to Anthony Smith Law. Shout out to Dog Man. Shout out to, Baby Lack. Shout out to you, the viewer. Because without you guys, this show wouldn't be possible. And I just want to say thank you before we even go into the show. Because I've been dealing with a lot of shit this week. But I'm going to hold on. I'm going to dig in deep and practice what I preach. You know what I'm saying? And just hold on to my faith. But hey, enough of me. Let's get to the show. All right, so you already know I got my man in the house to be. I got Mr. David Williams, a.k.a. Twin. How you doing, brother? Hey. You already know what it is. I just want to tell you thank you so much for taking time out to be on the show. You got a little celebrity status out there, which, we ain't gonna go into that because you know how these cats is.
You telling me something I didn't know.
A lot of fake people want to be around something real. That's the best way I would put it.
Well, let them tell it ain't nobody.
That's what real people say.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out. Go ahead, do me a solid. Let the people know who you are, where you from, Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's real simple. I got a twin brother named Daryl. We was born and raised in Rochester, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to Florida when I was about 12, 13. Moved to Orange Center. We stayed in Orange Center for a little while. Then we moved out to Edgewater Point, back when it was called Edgewater Point.
Okay.
Stayed there for a couple years, and then from Edgewater Point, that's when we moved to Pine Hills. And from Pine Hills, that's where I went from teenage to adult.
That's when I met y'all at Evans High School. Yeah, I met both of y'all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, one thing about it, I'm a simple guy. I don't, I'm just laid back, man. I be all over. I used to be all over the city. I didn't want to know where I couldn't really go. Couldn't really go. I'm just one of them. I'm one of the ones you would call you don't really see that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't party much. I don't club. I just do what I do.
Yeah,
Keep it pushing.
But you always kind of been like that, though.
Yeah.
That's always been your MO, low key.
Yeah.
For what I know, what I'm saying. So you got the podcast, Nobody's Safe.
Yeah, me and Lady J, we got the Nobody's Safe podcast. We've been doing it now. We new to it. We've been doing it now for a couple months. It's picking up,
Where you get the name from?
Well, actually, Jay, that name came from Lady J.
Okay.
Okay, because Lady J wanted to start a podcast, and it's funny because when she contacted me, I had so many people asking me about doing a podcast because I used to do a lot of writing. Like if people look on my Facebook page, you will see like further down, because I know you got in the more recent, you got videos and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go deep down in my page, I used to do a lot of writing. I write a lot of articles and stuff. And I used to post, and I used to get a lot of inboxes of people, man, you need to do a podcast. So Jay reached out to me, and at first she reached out to me to do an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got together, which me and Jay got history anyway.
Exactly, because I was going to go into that a little bit.
Yeah.
You said that with Jay, you known her, what, like over 20
Yeah,
something years?
Jay used to mess with, Jay and my younger brother, which is, 2 years younger than me, Jay and my brother Derek, they used to go together.
Okay.
That was my little brother's lady. Like she done been to family reunion trips and everything.
Okay. So she found. That's sis.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we got history. So when she contacted me about the interview, we got together a few times, and it just clicked. And then like when we did the first interview, dealing with my case and stuff.
Exactly.
That's when she was like, man,
let's rock out.
Yeah, let's you know what I'm saying? So that's how I started, You know what I'm saying? Well, it's been doing pretty good.
How you feel about it? Is it
I mean, I understand business with everything is slow in the beginning, and it's building, especially when you're going in a new venture. You know what I'm saying? Like I never did podcasting before or anything, but it's slow. It's slow in the beginning, and you're gonna make a few errors. You're gonna have trial and errors, but like anything else, we're gonna stay the course and build it up.
How you feel about being in front of the camera? Because I know when I first started, bro, it was tough. I'm just getting comfortable now in front of the camera because I never was a camera person.
It's something to get used to, because I never was a in front of the camera type person. Like I say, even years ago, I didn't take much pictures. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do a lot of that stuff. So it took some getting used to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to it, to be honest. But I'm getting better. I'm better with it.
Hey, yeah, I seen the progress. So
yeah.
I commend you on that. And this podcast thing I like it a lot because it allows you the freedom to voice your opinion without people interjecting, unless you got guests on, But also, I like it for myself personally, to be able to project a certain type of vibration out in the world. you know. And that's why I was telling you about, you know, your platform and how you guys got it set up to keep going, to keep pushing it, because we need that type of platform out there.
Yeah.
You know, now you got messy people out here, but from what I've seen on your show is not messy. No. So, you know, it's just about hardcore facts and just getting down to it.
Yeah. So, and
that's important. That's really important in my opinion.
Yes, it is. And that's why, you know, you had a few people contact Jay, you know, in our earlier time, you know, contact her directly and, you know, wanted her to interview them and so forth and so on, you know, and I'm gonna be specific. I'm talking about, you know, guys, you know, in the streets and all that. And when she was like, you know, if we're gonna do an interview, because like I told her, if I'm gonna interview anybody, you know where we come from, because you done been in the feds too.
Exactly.
It's like, man, where that paperwork at? You know, and see, that
I need your transcripts at least.
You know,
at least your transcript.
You know, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna be on it super hard because I did it over 2 decades like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of dudes couldn't produce it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how you want us to put you on a platform and you say you was doing this or that and so forth and so on, and you ain't got no documentation of it. Matter of fact, don't nobody even really know you. You know, so I mean, you know,
it's a waste of energy.
Yeah, you know.
That's why I try to make sure every guest that I have on my platform is someone that I see them as a big homie. That was the whole point of me naming the show Big Homie What's Happening, because I carry myself as a big homie, and to be a big homie is like being a big brother, you know, leading, you know, giving that advice to help those that may be falling short, or you don't want to see them, you know, crash out on something, you know. So everyone I have on the show, I even had a young man, you know, he was only 20 years old. I look at him as a little big homie, you know, because, you know, he's 20 years old. By the time he was 16, he illustrated his first comic book on his own. You know, he making things happen, where in this day and time, everybody on the video game, they scrolling. He was actually putting something together. Now he's got 2 books, and he's out on this, you know, book tour and making these things happen, him and his pops. So I had to have him on the show. But everyone else, they've been a little older. They've been through a lot of different scenarios, and they're able to give that advice, that word out. So I get exactly what you're saying when it comes to, you know, you want to protect your platform.
Yes.
You got to do that. It's just like your rep. Yeah. Because you got some guys out here that'll try to get you on the platform and trick you into getting in a situation to where it may cause issues with other people that it ain't even worth. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely you got your head on right, you know, far as in that aspect, far as in the entertainment.
Yeah. Well, you know, one thing about it, like, you know, like I talked with Jay and said, you know, when I get involved with something, you know, I don't like mess. I don't like drama. I mean, you know, we ain't kids, you know what I'm saying? You know, we ain't little boys, and you know, and nor do we think like little boys, because you got some older cats that still move, you know, like youngsters mentally. You know, you know, we gonna
we all know what's gonna happen to that.
You know, eventually, you know, everyone has to deal with the consequences of their choices. You know,
my granddad always told me, those that shit fast don't shit long.
No, they definitely don't. But I'm gonna say this though, you know, the problem today with those particular individuals, they're the ones gonna get everybody in trouble.
Of course.
The ignorant ones, the ones who sloppy, who move crazy, and as soon as, and I'm speaking for those ones, for the ones who in them streets. Yeah. And as soon as I tell some of the youngsters around me, man, the most ignorant one around you, get rid of him, cause that's the one gonna send you to jail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Watch first 48. They need to change.
Hey, when they say, "Can I get a cigarette?" Hey, that was the number one show we used to watch behind that wall, man. We watched that 40. We waiting on that cigarette. We used to bet on high low. Niggas used to bet like, I got 5 minutes, I got 7 minutes, I got 15 minutes. Niggas betting that tuna on how long it'll take to get that. Either they want that or they want something to eat.
You know what? A funny story. We just happened to be. I was in Manchester, Kentucky, and we happened to be watching that because I don't really watch TV like that, but they just happened to have it on, right?
Yeah. And
it was a guy that came on the show that was in that unit.
No.
The man told he got into some issue.
He was still there, or this is after he left? After he
No. This is before his Fed time.
Oh,
the man had got into it with some dudes. He called his cousin. His cousin was really about that action. His cousin come through there, do what he do. When they picked him up, and he the one called it, cause he told on his own cousin and everything, but he was going by a different nickname. But you could see physically, that's him. So he happened to be on the yard.
Oh my God.
He don't even know.
Oh my God.
And as soon as that dude,
I already know how that happened.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? As soon as he came in that unit, hey.
Go up top. You gotta go up top.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta go up top.
Yeah,
they don't know they don't know how them niggas tap on your bump with the boots on. Hey, bro, you gonna have to go on up top.
Yeah.
Get up out of here.
Cause you going.
Oh yeah, you going one way. Either you going there,
or you going straight there, or you going to the hospital first, and then you gonna go there. So you know. Mm-hmm. Well, don't get me wrong. I done seen some prefer to go to the hospital too. They went to the hospital, but they still went. They still went. You know.
Yeah. Man, let me tell you that we call it a quote 45. I don't know what y'all call it, but boy, look at her. That lock and that sock. Oh man. But y'all situation, y'all Iron Man, y'all Pokemons over there. Y'all Pokemons.
I did the bulk of my time in penitentiaries, man. And look, man, the Joker ain't even studying no lock. You know what I'm saying? They want something that's gonna go in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. But hey, we're gonna take y'all behind the scenes. We're gonna let y'all check out the podcast, Nobody Safe. I about to say the shit wrong and I don't want no motherfucking smoke. Nobody Safe. We're gonna take y'all, let y'all see some of that. Hey, forgive me, man. I be on different narcotics sometimes. Hey, y'all sit back. I got my brother twin right here, Mr. Williams. Y'all be easy. Hold on.
I'm to the point now, I have learned peace. If you can't come in heal with me, guess what? I'd rather stay single. I don't have time to be healing or trying to figure out somebody's methods. I don't have time for that.
It's funny you said that, right? I remember talking to this youngster a couple months ago, right? And he used to be back and forth over the phone, ranting and raving and cussing and, hanging up and, all these theatrics, man. Mm-hmm. And I just basically told him, man, in a nutshell, man, you got to understand, man, P-O-P. And he asked me, he was like, man, P-O-P, man, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm about to ask you, what is P-O-P?
Hey, man, I value my peace over pussy. If, listen. That's where I'm
about that, Mom. Look, if you're watching.
No, but this
right. So you seen it. You see my man. You see him enjoy at work. You know what I mean? Boots on the ground, like we always say. So, hey, that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. I respect your craft. Especially just jumping out and getting right to it. But then again, you overstand things. So with that, it's really no surprise. So the show is about restoring people's faith. So I appreciate you coming on the show first before we go into that. So I'm gonna ask you the question that I ask all my guests that come on, and that question is, what was a time when you personally feel that your faith was being tested and you had to hold on strong and dig in deep, and whether it was faith in yourself, whether it was faith in God, or whether it was all of the above, what was the time so the viewers can know and understand to not give up on their faith?
Well, I mean, I had a few, incidents, but the most severe one is when I caught my Fed case. That was pretty rough, man. Because I mean, you take a young man, 25 years old, never been to state prison, never been to federal prison, and you go to dangling them football numbers, in front of him, talking about a sentence, and then in my case, because they wanted me off the street so bad, hell, my plea was 25 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, pardon my soul. I want y'all to understand that all this time he's talking about is for a non-violent crime. Get that now. A non-violent crime. Because you could be a chomo, as we call them, which y'all would know them as a pedophile, and they get a year and a day, might get 3 years at the most. Okay, that's destroying the world. But this is a non-violent crime that we talking about. Damn how you feel is a non-violent crime. Okay?
Yeah, and I come in the system, with the deck stacked heavily against me. It was me, my brother. A lot of people don't know. Some people do, but they also arrested my mama. They arrested my girlfriend at the time. They arrested my brother's girl. They arrested my brother's girl mama. And that was all based on what somebody told them.
Hearsay, just hearsay.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So I faced a number of charges from drug conspiracy, both keys and crack, or powder and crack, to guns, to money laundering. You know what I'm saying? And that was a real trying time, especially when I made the decision to go to trial, because, don't get me wrong, in the beginning, they try everybody, you know what I'm saying? They tried to get me to, cooperate against people and stuff like that. And once they seen that I wasn't going to do that, they refused to give me a shorter plea, So I'm like, what's the difference? You got to understand my mindset at the time. You take a 25-year-old man and say, hey man, your plea 25 years, unless you tell on somebody. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all already done tried to get me to do that. I'm not gonna do that. So the only other option I got is to go to trial and preserve, because they wanted me to take that plea and waive my rights to appeal and all.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm like, man, well, we going to trial, but so I went through a lot of things, man, federal holding, like, the prosecutors and the agents, they used to call the federal holding where I was and just tell the officers, man, put him in the hole. So I did a lot of time in the hole for nothing. You got to understand the psychological, then, going back and forth to court and going to trial, and then seeing how they bring in all these dudes to come testify. I'm looking at a lot of them, a lot of them supposed to been, what the street real.
That had to be heartbreaking. That had to be real heartbreaking to see that.
Well,
but some of them you ain't even know who they was.
Yeah, it was a few of them I really didn't know, and it was
they just
it was
jumping
a couple
on
of
the
them,
case.
It was a couple of them that I did know, but we would have never did no business. They just happened to luck up and catch a Fed case and find out I was I had got arrested and I'm going to trial, and you know how it go. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes being there scouting the papers and all, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as they see somebody familiar or got a little name or whatever, they on the phones calling, their agents telling me, hey man, I did something with him too. Them people don't care, they just bring them. You know what I'm saying? So, and just, it wasn't I wouldn't say it was heartbreaking to me. I, it made me build a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it made me build a lot of hatred. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know what?
So how did you overcome that? Like,
Well,
what was your process? What was your healing to be able to get through that? Because I understand how you know, I can understand, because I had someone who I thought was all right that worked a move on me, and I lost my mama house. You know, I really didn't care about losing my possessions, because those I could get that back. But when I lost my mother's house that she worked hard for over 20 some odd years, you know, I had to take that. So what did you do to just keep your sanity?
Well, honestly, I did what I'm gonna say 10% do when they go to prison. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, like I say again, you've been there, so you know what I'm finna say is true. You know, most of the guys that go to prison, they just end up doing time. Meaning they gonna play poker, they gonna gamble, they gonna watch Jerry Springer and Love and Hip Hop, and you know, they gonna work out, and they do nothing to build this.
Exactly.
So what happens is, as those days, weeks, months, and years go on, their body's aging, but their brain is not aging.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a lot of dudes get out of prison, and it tickled me with the ladies, because you know they see him and boy, he just don't know, he ain't got nothing to think with. He could barely walk and chew gum at the same time, for real. You know, and that comes from going to prison and turning, as I would say, turning it into a playground, because you know you could turn prison into a playground, or you could turn it into a university. I chose to turn it into a university. And once I got to prison, you know, no lie, I remember when I first got to prison, man, I was at USP 1. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me and another one of our mutual friends on Atwell, Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Me and Randy was Sellies.
Yeah.
You know, but I never forget this. When I first got to prison, you know, most guys, they come to prison, they put their little stuff up, and they go hit the yard. They want to see who there. And I put my stuff up, went straight to the education department, to the law library. And anybody who know me, who was on any compound with me, they'll tell you that's where I did the majority of my time, in the law library. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's what kind of balanced me out. You know, it started taking away those layers of enmity. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then, you know, I studied everything. You know, my first 10, 15 years, I studied religion. You know, I fine-tuned myself, you know, business-wise, and, you know, took a number of courses. And I just did the time, man, just educate myself, taking stuff that I can utilize when I get home, because in my heart, I knew I wasn't going to do the time that I was sentenced to. I knew I was gonna do some time,
but you felt in your heart.
And every day, no lie, every day I got up with the mindset that I'm going home soon. And what kept me in line personally is every day I got up, I envisioned myself mentally that there was a camera on me and my kids was watching it.
Wow.
So it kept me, you know what I'm saying? If it was something that I would be embarrassed or wouldn't want my kids to see, I didn't do it. I didn't indulge in it.
I can respect that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what kept, you know, that's what kept, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, like I studied history too for a while, like real history, like, you know, and I will say, like, between studying history and getting to know real history and then religion, you know, as a whole, you know, because I didn't, you know, you got a lot of guys, they go into, you know, one particular thing, but I didn't. I studied it as a whole. I mean,
I did that too.
Yeah,
So I did that as well. What I first started out with was, because I was raised as a Lutheran, so I started reading about Lutheran, how it started and everything. And then I come to realize, like, wow, because Lutherans base off like how Catholics is set up.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther, which that's who started it, he actually fell in love with a nun, and it was forbidden, so they ran off. And when they ran off, then that's what started like what they call like a holy war. And so you had the Lutherans who believed his philosophy. He still, adopted how Catholics maneuver, but they had their own thing where you can get married, you can fall in love, and this whole thing of not doing that, they didn't believe in that, and it started a whole thing, and people was killing and all that stuff.
I mean, that's one.
Yeah, that's just one.
That's one of the main reasons why King James hunted William Tyndale and Martin Luther down. He killed him. He had them killed rather, and he stole 2/3. Because a lot of people don't know, like the King James version and the Gideon's version Bible that was written based off the King James. A lot of King James stole the bulk of that. Like,
of course,
William Tyndale and Martin Luther are the original. Like, for the original, you got the original Bible before King James is known as the Geneva Bible. It was written in like the 1500s. You can do the research, you'll see what I'm telling you. And he was the king at that time. He basically, okay, well, he knocked them over and took 2/3 of what they already did and put it in the king. And I said, now this is your Bible. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm familiar with, the different religious,
and then also when it came to the Bible, at one point, I read something, I studied something that was basically that literature was like prohibited, and the Bible was like really the only thing, because that was like law, and that's why, in my opinion, why we got so many different ones. I also read something about that King James himself had a boy. Yeah. That he participated in homosexual activities.
Yes, with little boy. See, I'm gonna tell you.
Like, I just told that, let you know.
I ain't gonna go.
Yeah, we ain't gonna. Yeah, people gonna get mad at us. They gonna shut us down. But it's a lot of stuff that they kept out of. I don't let you know.
They kept out of mainstream society. Dealing with that cat. He was a.
Yeah, so I'm non-denominational. I tell them, hey, look, I worship the only one. I don't get into all that, because it's just like a game.
Yeah.
Reality, because when you look at wars. Wars are all started off because, I believe this and you believe that.
And I'm gonna say this piece, and then most of the religious group today done took common sense out of religion. Yeah. This is why I say what I say, right? All right. Everybody believes that there's one God, whether they call it Jehovah, Allah, whatever the name they call it, Olodumare for the African Center. Everybody believes that there's one God. Okay, so if you got this one God, just like you're a man in your house, you got your children, all right, that you conceive. Would you give this one a different rules and regulations under your house from this one, and from this one, and this one, and from this one, and this one? Like, you got 100 kids living in your house, just for example, and you, every last one of them, you done told something different as for the rules and regulations to abide by you in your house. Would you do that?
No,
it just don't make sense. So it lets you know that all these other theories of thought is man-made, intertwined with, because, man, you done had the discussion before, all religion, I don't care what, it comes from one base source.
Exactly.
It comes from one source.
Yeah,
and
we know it comes from the motherland.
Each group just took
that what and they changed, like. What they like.
Yeah, they changed this and that, and how you get the people to comply. Oh, this is what God said.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next group do the same thing. Oh, they wrong. No, God said this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like nobody uses common sense. It's like,
it's a system of control,
man,
in my opinion.
How you got one guy? Everybody believe, in one guy, but you got all these different theories. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think, in my opinion, people just need to focus on God and just, because God is love, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you, but to add.
But he do have he get pissed off too now.
To add to what you're saying, a lot of people don't understand that we have been taught to look outside of ourselves for something that's within us.
Exactly.
So, you want to have the best relationship with that supreme essence, because that's what I like to address. You want to have the best relationship with that supreme essence, man, you got to have knowledge of self. And it goes beyond just knowing your name, your date of birth, your social. People, because we always look at things from a superficial level. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, like, really, because a lot of people don't even understand, like, how the significance of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't even know why they have the thoughts that they have. They don't even know how their brain works. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? They don't know how the brain work in connection with the body and so forth. And that has a lot to do with why people do some of the things that they do today. Because they don't even understand the basic things that we should understand about ourselves. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that, when you go back to the first men and women, mm-hmm. They don't understand that the mammalian and reptilian parts of the brain was the controlling parts of the brain. The cerebral cortex evolved. Mm-hmm. That's what civilizes us. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, the mammalian and the reptilian part of the brain, that's what controls your animalistic nature. They call it the reptilian or the brainstem because it's the largest part in reptiles. It controls your body language. That's mm-hmm. why you see all reptiles, they communicate with body language. Mm-hmm. The mammalian part of the brain, which sits on the top of the reptilian, mm-hmm. it controls your mood. That's why mood is always associated with body language. That's why you can look at somebody and say, you know what, he or she, they having a bad day. And you don't even know their name or nothing. You can go to the club and you can see over there at the bar, dang, she feeling you, bro. Mm-hmm. Because she's using those parts, because that's the oldest part of the brain. But the caveat to that is those are your wow. And if you don't control them, you will do anything. Like, for real. That's why people kill their parents. That's why jokers kill and have sex with kids. You'll do anything when you let those parts of your brain control you. That's why the cerebral cortex, that supreme essence, understood and allowed, out of all the things that it created, mm-hmm. it allowed us to evolve this way. That's why if you look at the Sphinx, you got to think, we're talking about some 6,000-7,000 years ago. They understood what I'm saying. They were smarter than us today with all these smartphones and all. Mm-hmm. They were smarter than us way back then. Mm-hmm. Why you think you got the Sphinx? The lion body prostrated with the human head on top of it. What does that mean? You got people who telling you some BS. They'll tell you that, oh, they worship different gods. And no, it don't. It means that when man is cultivated with correct knowledge of himself, he has the faculty to control and tame the animalistic nature within him.
Hey, man, see, y'all be thinking I be with the bullshit. I'm giving y'all some real gems, man. Hey, bro, I'm yeah. That's all I'm saying.
See, one thing too, I learned too to keep stuff in too, because you can't. One thing about me, like I understand.
I appreciate you giving them this knowledge.
You can't let everyone know what you know, because you'll be hated for what you know. And I can go around and give a couple examples. Malcolm. Mm-hmm. I can go on, like, you know what I'm saying? You'll be hated for it. So a lot of people, especially the ones who pushing other agendas, they'll despise you because they know. Like I done had, believe it or not, look, man, I done had preachers while I was in prison, man, and I'm just coming in because I taught classes while in prison, and come in and just sit in the back and listen to me speak, right? And no lie, when I finish and the class is over with and everything, they come up to me and like, man, you dead right, but everybody can't.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle it. You know what I'm saying?
They can't handle it.
You got to give them. He basically told me in a nutshell, that's why I do what I do. I give them what they want. You can't give them that. They not ready for that. So, I open up here and there, but I usually keep a lot of stuff inside, man.
Well, I appreciate you giving it to the people on this platform because all my listeners, all my viewers, this is what they need. This is, this is reassurance, belief in self, to keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? And to not be afraid to question things.
And it's like, understand that everything, whether good or bad, because a lot of people think, and I tell people, not everything that happened bad to you happened to you for a bad reason. A lot of times bad things happen to you for good reasons. And I can use myself, like, I'm keeping it 100. Like, I had a lot of guys that were around me, even though I wasn't no big, homeboy, just with the few though that was right in my circle that I'm kicking it with, that didn't mean me no good for real. Like a lot of stuff came to me throughout my bid, like how some dudes that was right in my circle that I thought was really cool used to talk about me behind my back and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he think he did. He ain't really. And for real, they didn't even understand. For real, I'm lapping you in intellect. You know what I'm saying? Because I allowed you to think you was something when you really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I allowed you to do, but you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And prime example, I've been gone 24 years, 5 months. I come home, a lot of these dudes, for the few ones that's still out there, you dudes still doing the same thing. No, y'all ain't got no mental elevation. I come home, I look at the streets as primitive. You know what I'm saying? I look at the streets like no different from how we live in today than how we look at the caveman. Like, dang, they building like that? That's how I look. Man, if you 50 years old or you 40 plus years old and you still out there, that means you ain't handling your business appropriately. I did.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I ain't got to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to make everybody feel like I had some or worried about, you know what I'm saying, what somebody thought. Man, one thing about me, and I say that to the youngsters, like, you got to stop caring what people think about you. You'll get so much further in life. Stop caring about what people do. You stop caring about what they think you broke. Play on it. You know what I'm saying? That's helping you. That's not hurting you. You know what I'm saying? One thing, you and I both know that when you really live that life, and it's like I used to tell my daughters now, cause I school them, cause they young ladies now, and I want the best for them.
Exactly.
The one in the room with all the chains on, all the flashy colors, the clothes and all the most expensive clothes and all the rings on, he ain't got no money.
Of course, cause he done spent it all.
He ain't got no money.
That's my granddad always told me, the loudest nigga in the room
is always the
weakest. Always the weakest. It's that quiet joker that you gotta look out for. That one that's sitting back there, act like he ain't paying you no attention, but he watching. Oh, he watching. Or he got niggas that's watching you because he got that much power. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I believe that all the way, homie. All the way. And deep down in my bones. That's why, whenever I did step out, I stepped out. But, I go back into my little shell. I'm comfortable being by myself. Yeah. Because I don't seek an admiration of want to impress people. I do for self. I do what makes me feel good.
Yes.
And that's what we all should be doing as kings and queens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But we get so caught up in the Joneses and stressing about what's on that phone, what's on that social media, that it's controlling our kids. It's controlling the adults.
Yeah.
Like you got it now where, bro, if you would have told me 10 years ago that every woman is getting plastic surgery, whether it's their face, whether it's their ass, whether it's their titties, you don't know what's real out there no more. It's like when you meet a woman, you were like, hey, can I see some photos of you a couple years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how this shit going. And I'm not knocking it, but it's like, what happened to loving yourself for who you are?
Well, what happened is people are in today's society, people are trained to look at the superficial, the outer. You know what I'm saying? You know, they don't, you know, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? You know, now one thing about it, now, I will say this now. Body sculpting has been around for thousands of years.
God don't want me to smoke.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so me personally, like, I don't knock a woman for having surgeries, whatever. Now, I don't like the going overboard.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
when you
what
start
I'm
looking fake.
Yeah, they get the things in their face, and their whole face look like a chipmunk. And then you got okay. All right, ladies, I don't want y'all to get mad at me. Okay, when you get the surgery, and they get like the fat transfer, I really ain't tripping off that too much, because really you just taking what's over here, you just putting it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But what tripped me out is when they go putting all these toxins in their body, and then I'm gonna jump on this too. If your legs this big, your ass can't be this big, bruh. You look like an ant. Real talk, you look like an ant walking around with your shit out. Look like you gotta take a shit. And I know we ain't these, but we got all our talk, but that's what we do. We just go to building, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, that shit is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I say, people...
And these niggas out here going to prison for these ladies. They going to prison for them. Why I say that? Because they think, oh, that's what I gotta have. So to have that, I gotta have the sack. And to have the sack, I gotta do this. And I gotta do that. And then in reality, what happens is you get her for a little bit. Little bit, and then now your ass doing 180 months. 6 months, my nigga. 6 months.
Yeah, she ain't gonna...
Hey, on my compound, we call them Jody and Jorge. Jody and Jorge vicious out there. They gonna get your girl.
Yeah.
They gonna get your girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you gonna get them 300 minutes, and you gonna run through 280 of them. In the first 3 days, cause she telling you, I just can't do it no more.
Yeah.
You ain't been gone 90 days, my nigga, and you got 120 months.
And all you done did in the past, it don't mean nothing now.
You done paid for that ass. You done paid for them titties, for Jose, Sancho, Gabriel, all of them to have fun sucking and doing whatever they want to do. Yeah, I'm good. You count me out. I told my niggas, I say, hey, I'm good with dimes, my nigga. I get out, nigga. I take me a hard 8 with a job and some good credit. That's the best dime I could ever have.
Yeah, but that is the dime.
Exactly. Facts.
You know, that is the dime. You know, when
facts.
You know, when you dealing with somebody, man, that you can build with, it's not really, or it shouldn't really be about. Of course, you know, everybody's different. So, what's attractive to me may not be attractive to you, and vice versa. But, you know, of course, you know, somebody want to be with somebody that they're attracted to. But you ain't got to...
But the thing is, that ain't what these cats doing now. They getting what social media finds attractive. Oh, this is what I gotta have a girl with a big ass, and this. What can you do with all the ass, nigga? You can't fuck the ass.
You know, but you know...
I just said, well, hold on.
but you know...
Like, real talk, though.
But, you know, it's all about following. See, you the majority are followers. You know what I'm saying? You know, leaders gonna always make their own way. You know what I'm saying? Like a leader don't follow. You know what I'm saying? A leader leads. See, when you doing something just cause everybody else doing it, then guess what? You ain't keeping up with the times. Mentally, that's how you trick yourself to believe, but really you following. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like in this day and age, homie, you know, the alpha male, he's almost extinct. Because it's so much feminineness that's being exploited onto our males.
Okay, and you got to understand why. Because I learned very valuable. No real history. Think about it. You got all these clothing brands, okay? Designer. Most of them made by homosexuals. So look how the clothes getting tighter and tighter.
Exactly.
Because they dressing you the way they like to dress, but they done made it in your head because you see everybody doing it. Oh, that's the style. No, that ain't the style, man. Man don't wear his pants that damn tight, man. Not no man. Then, hold on. I'm finna go there, but they done masked it up under. You know, they done masked that up under what they deem is masculine. That, you know, dude. Here in the man bun. See, they feel like because they call it put the man in front of it, it makes it man. No, it don't. They with the man purses and so forth and so on. And, you know, that's their way of saying, you know, yeah, that's, you know, this for the men. No, that's a purse, home.
I carry me a book bag.
You know what I'm saying?
I carry a book bag with a motherfucking book bag.
You know.
Now, it might be designer, but I got a book bag. I ain't carrying no goddamn purse.
Yeah. You know,
I'm not doing none of that.
And it's like, and then I look at now, like, it's different from, like, when I left, you know, bro, you know, having salons and all that, so I, you know, brother go in there and get a little haircut, nice little shave and all that, he gone. Now, the men in the salon just as long as the women are. They getting their little facial hair plucked out between their eyebrows, they getting their eyebrows trimmed up, you know what I'm saying? They want facials now and all. I'm like,
oh yeah, they get like face massage, all
like
that.
Men is being they in the salon just as long as women. They take the men just as long. I'm like, oh my, it's just different. I get it, you know what I'm saying, but I never do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, unless you kept me in a scene in a movie and it calls for that character. But yeah, exactly. I never, you know, nah. You know, I ain't, you know, and one thing I ain't gonna do the shit, just like Denzel and all the, Michael B. I ain't never putting on no dress home.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never kissing no another man or nothing. And now you try me with that. We finna tear up that little, we finna tear up all that little movie,
little set,
we finna tear all that up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all better have some insurance.
But
Dog said you better have some insurance on the set. He gonna tear that motherfucker up.
We ain't doing none of that. No, I ain't never, you know, compromising my manhood. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do it. It's spending over two decades behind that wall. You know what I'm saying? Shit, ain't nothing even remotely attracted to me about no man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know, Hey, you know, you got them jokers out there that be in love with them jokers and then go on visitation and be kissing their wives.
And then be right back there fighting with the dude because he done went to visit. Trust me, I done seen it.
Yeah.
You know, I done seen it. It's a few dudes, though, no lie. It's a few dudes that I know, like, personally, and they can get mad, they can have their pistol. Whatever. If I was to see them in a mall or something with a chick, I'm right in front of them. Hey man, you need to go get tested. If you sleeping with him, you need to go get tested. Cause I feel like that's my moral duty. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know what you was doing, home. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's another thing. Like statistically, a lot of people don't know. Like, and this is real statistics, man. You know, you got less than 5% of men go to prison be already HIV positive. Less than 5%. More than 60% come out with it. So what they doing?
Hey, they damn sure ain't rocking with Fifis.
So,
and that's y'all know about Fifi, but Fifi a beast. We ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna do you like that. For Fifi Beach, boy. For all y'all that know about Fifi. Hey, man. Hey, we gonna come back, man. I'm gonna go ahead. We gonna pay some bills, man. We rocking out like, hey, we gonna go back. Hey, I got my dog, twin, Mr. David Williams, the third in the house. We gonna come back. Like I said, let's pay these bills. 100.
So
there's nothing kind of like starting something from an inception and seeing it all the way through and just thinking in your head like, wow, I was the creator of all this, or I was the creator of all these people partying or going to a concert or whatever. It came from my brain to this, so it kind of gives you a natural high.
game over everything. Was strong in the pain when the drama came. Blood, sweat, and tears from a lot of pain. Every night I prayed to God, but He never came. So I chose the game over everything. I've been down bad in everything, and I couldn't get a dime from you fucking lanes. Put that on my mama name.
Ghost Stream Levels, now on Tubi.
Boy, it feels so good to be alive.
Take it back.
I swear to God.
Take it back.
Super slow.
I was told by people of the star to take it back. Just take it back. Take it back like before. See, I don't need a reason. I'm just gonna believe in myself. Believe in myself.
What's happening, world? Been absent for a while. Back with a new style. Same brother, the same goatee smile, but I keep it gangster. Much more different approach. Still rocking with cutthroats. New coupe, new wife, no car notes. Ain't playing no games, partner. From the land of rats and rocks. Double brick, big booty mouse. Candy paint, bent rims, and lax paws. We love Cleo. Much love to Slender Boss. Big black in the men's closet. Big B's West Side and J Mall. What's happening, Magic Mall? My dogs at Prince Hall. Ivy Lane, Malibu, and them niggas that call Shaw. What about them? Today's show has been sponsored by Anthony Smith Law. If your civil rights have been violated, or if you suffer injuries from any type of accident, even if it's Uber or Lyft, give Coretta a call at 321-900-HELP. That's 321-900-HELP. And tell her the big homie sent you. All right, we back with my brother David, aka Twin. We done paid a couple bills. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. You know, I wasn't gonna even speak on this, because I was thinking about something. When we was talking about off camera, we was talking about Mercedes brought up about your son, with him being in the music. But I wouldn't feel right without paying the respect that myself and everybody that your brother has helped. You know what I'm saying? Daryl, y'all yin and yang. Definitely that. But y'all to be 2 years, y'all definitely yin and yang. But what I will say, what I know of Daryl is whenever I needed him, whether I was walking down the street and he picked me up, gave me a ride, or if I was in a pinch, he was always there for me. And I say this because for y'all that don't know, his brother is no longer with us in the flesh. He definitely here in the spirit though. But for y'all that don't know, when you doing time, in my for me, I would say, when you're doing time and you lose someone, the processing of it is different than being out here, because when you're in the belly of the beast, you in a place where everybody think they bad, everybody think they hard, everybody, so you know your head is always on the swivel, so you process things, but you can't allow emotions to show. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? Did it kind of describe it like that?
I think that's very accurate. You know,
you can't do that. So I know with you being here and bruh not being here, I know that. I know sometimes it, you know, if not sometimes, probably all the time, I know that should be heavy.
Yeah, I just learned. I'm still learning how to deal with it. You know.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand, like, you know,
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I just something in me, bro. Like I couldn't even keep it 100 without, and I'm only speaking on it because I just want respect on his name. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because you know a lot of people that don't know what the fuck they talking about, and I shouldn't be cursing, but a lot of people don't know what they talking about. You know, they'll do anything to try to make a good person name bad, and I just want for the world to know that, you know, Darryl is a good dude. Now, whatever relationship you may have had with him, you know what I'm saying? If you crossed him, then that's just what it is. But I just, you know.
I'm gonna say this about bro, right? I'll agree with you. You know, Daryl will give you the shirt off his back. If he mess with you, he'll give you the shirt off his back. Okay. But I agree with you also. You like with anything, you gonna always have people they gonna have the negative to say after the fact. Them gonna be the same ones had he been around his presence. Hey boy, you know, all in his face and so forth and so on. Well, I will say this, you know, and now and this is fact, you know. During the time, because I understand that everything in life has, you know, and everybody or some of the few have their times. But I will say this, during the time from early mid 90s until 2000, wasn't nobody getting in me and bro business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I mean, you know, you from the streets, even though you done made your transition, it's just what it's me, but you from the street. It's like, that's just what it is. If you don't believe, go talk to people from that era. You don't hear these other names. Why is that? You know, because I be hearing, I done heard even some people done reached out to Jay, oh, I was this and I was bigger than, well, and like Jay, why I don't know you then? I know them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
How you let the work outshine the master then?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, I mean, you know, bro he was what he was, you know? And, you know, I just say, like, I'm still processing his, you know, his transition. You know, I know, you know, when they came and told me, because you know how I go to chapel to be the one to come tell you, and I just felt something, you know, when they didn't call this particular chapel, he came to the dorm, and I'm somewhat familiar with him because, you know, from seeing him around and so forth, and he called me to the dorm and he pulled me out the dorm and had me on the outside. You know, the fair's different from state, so you got patio tables and all. And he took me out there and he just, you know, he told me, he was like, you know, I just want to let you know your brother passed away, and which I felt it. I just didn't hear it yet, you know. And I just took that moment right then, because he kind of told me, and I guess he was allowing me to process it, and kind of, gave me a little time to myself, and I'm outside by myself, and I broke down like a baby.
Yeah.
Cause you gotta understand, like, when it's, losing a sibling is hard for anyone, and I'm quite sure anybody who's lost a sibling understand that. But it takes the hurt to another level when it's a twin. You see what I'm saying? Cause you gotta understand, me and bro, it goes big. It's bigger than just on this earth. Me and my brother came from the womb together. We played in the womb together. So, like I said, I'm still processing it. And then now I'm home. It's like, dog, and I speak to that creative essence, like, dog, you okay? I'm out of this place. You allowed me to make it out, and I don't have my brother. And so it's like, I'm learning how. Every day I'm learning how to just move, but he'll never be forgotten, because I got some tricks up my sleeve, because you know how bro was. So I got a couple things that I'm gonna do in his tribute, we all know, and anybody who don't know it, like, bro, he was that one with the cars and all, and I got something real special I'm gonna do for him, you know what I'm saying, to let jokers know, he still.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah, I fuck with bro. All right. R.I.P. to bro. I'm kind of like, my head kind of drifted off, but I had to speak on it because I knew later on I feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just have to give him his flowers and let the world know how I feel about him. He was a good dude. He still is a good dude. And I don't really care about what kind of relationship y'all may have had with him. I'm just speaking about my relationship that I had with him. And for me, it's like, when I heard that he was gone, because, of course, I know you. We went to school together, but I ain't really hang with you. I hung with, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, when I heard that shit, I'm like, damn. So then it's like, it's crazy, and it's probably fucked up to say it, but it's like, when I see you, I see him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get a joy when I be talking to you, cause it's like, I'm doing the right thing, and I know if bro was here, this what he would be doing too. He be doing what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it be, it be both of y'all on the couch. You know what I'm saying? He'll be picking at me about some shit that I don't want to talk about, but he'll put it out. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be like, well, damn. So, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man. I commend you, bro. I commend you, on everything you got going on, everything you're doing. You got your son out here that, because you was promoting artists and everything. Now your son, he doing his thing. What's up with that?
Yeah, I got one son, which now I'm going to say, like, I'm proud of all my children.
Of course.
But, on the music tip, I got one son, he doing his thing on the scene. His rap name is Cash Junkie Duke. He doing his thing. I'm proud of him, man. Like, I did my thing back in the day, but I wasn't able, because I was taking off the street, I wasn't able to really take it to where he's taking it. You know what I'm saying?
So you just passed the torch.
Well, I'm in prison, so I can't really say pass the torch, because I told him, I'm like, bro, you surpassed me when it came to doing your thing on that music. I'm proud of him. You know, I just want him to stay focused. You know, cause you know how them young guys are. I want him to, you know, kind of. It's a few things and people I want him to get away from. Yeah. Because, you know, it tickled me, right. And sometimes I tell my kids this when we have certain conversations and it kind of go over their heads, and I tell them like, man, I done been your age before. You ain't never been mine yet. And they don't understand what I mean. It's like, man, I done been there, man. It's like, I see what you're doing and I see how detrimental it is to you. But because you're an adult, I can't make you do.
Exactly.
But it's like, bro, you know, I be wanting to tell, like, come on, leave that alone and come on over here, man. And, you know, but overall, though, you know, I'm proud of him. He doing his thing, you know, and I just want him to stay focused and continue on.
All right.
Yeah.
So what you got new? What you got new on the horizon? We about to wrap this thing up.
Well, I got a few things going on, man. I got, you know, besides what me and Jay got going on with Nobody Say Podcast, you know, I got a couple books that I wrote. I got a business management course that I wrote. Okay. Like for people who want to take business management but don't have the money to go to college. So I got a course that I wrote where they can self-study. Okay. And learn the intricate details of business management themselves. Okay. I'm gonna do an ebook, and I'm also gonna do a course. Okay. You know, a cheap, you know, course, affordable. Okay. I got a business credit building book that I'm working on. I'm almost done with that one. I got a personal credit because a lot of people don't know. I know how to do that credit and all that stuff too. I just don't. I don't see the need to start a business. That lane is saturated. I just rather write the books and let you do it yourself.
You do it yourself, exactly.
You know, I got a book that I just finished that one. A stock market book. It's called Swing Trading 101, where I show people how to swing trade. Okay. Like basically, I took 7 years of learning and a couple $1,000s in books and studying and condensed it down to about 150 pages and give you just the raw essence. Because, you know, when you read a lot of books is just fluff. They'll give you a little bit and the rest be fluff. I didn't do that. That book is straight substance.
Up.
I'm giving you formulas, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I got this screenplay that I'm working on. It's called Street Boss Emeritus. You know, I'm gonna just say that's a fiction based on true events, because it's certain things that, you know.
Yeah,
but it's, you know,
I got you.
I'm gonna sit down with my dog, Mr. Eric Gray. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's one of my
shout out to Eric Gray.
You know, that's one of my partners from back in the day. We still cool. I'm gonna sit down with him and run it by him and see what he think about it. I'm quite sure. I'm positive though he'll love it, because it's on some different stuff. Also, you know, me and my, you know, I got a documentary that I'm working out. I done talked to a couple different producers and stuff, and I'm still working some things out in my head, and that's for the budgeting and all that stuff, Doug. Matter of fact, Mr. Ruff, you know.
Yeah, Ruff. What's happening, Ruff? OUC Films in the house. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I talked to Mr. Ruff. I was fortunate to meet him at one of the shoots for Eric Gray's latest movie he's getting ready to come out with. So, you know, I just ain't got back with nobody yet, because I want to get this outline down. That way I can have a clear path to a budget and, you know,
get everything knocked out the way it's supposed to be.
You know, but I can promise you though, it's not gonna be something that people gonna be like, it's gonna be a good one. I guarantee you, people gonna be like, damn, I didn't know all that, because I'm gonna really let people know what was really going on behind the scenes and what was really going on with me and bro, like how we was able to do some of the things we was doing, and at the same time keeping a lot of them guys who thought they was, you know, doing big things. They, you know, You know what I'm saying? But it was a little rough with bro though, cause I used to, like, I ain't gonna lie, like it's gonna be comical too, cause me and bro almost came to blows plenty of times, cause it's like he was finna crash the whole car and expose. Like, no, bro, let's stay under. Yeah. Let's stay under, you know what I'm saying? Let's stay focused, stay under these dudes, man. Yeah. You know, and it was at times when, you know, bro, you know it, man. Bro, get in that little, you know, that's why I was telling somebody the other day, they asked me about classy and all that, man. I ain't.
Oh, bro could be 80 years old.
Hey, I can promise you.
He gonna be out though.
I can promise you. I don't care where you from. And I ain't got nothing to do, because I know you got them boys with them whips everywhere.
Yo, he coming.
But
he coming.
I promise you ain't getting nowhere in Orlando, Florida when you bring it was just too many of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He you know, it was just too many. It was just, you know what I'm saying? You might get a little shine, but for every one you bring out, trust me, bro, he can bring out about 4 or 5 of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I say I'm gonna do something real. You know, I'm gonna do something real special for bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, hey, I appreciate you, brother. Give everybody your links so they can get in contact with you if they want to work with you or however they want to do it.
Okay. Well, first, you got me and Lady J, we got our podcast, Nobody's Safe, which you can go on YouTube and subscribe for free. Mm-hmm. It's at Nobody's Safe Podcast 77@gmail.com, or you can go right on YouTube and type in Nobody's Safe Podcast. You'll know the right one because you'll see a picture of me and Lady J, mm-hmm. you know, on the profile. If you want to reach out to me personally, you know, you can go to my Facebook page, which is basically my name, David Williams III, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, which is twin, 1, DW, 3, you know. So if anybody, you know, you want to holler at me, holler at me.
Hey. Well, there you go. Y'all got it right there. Hey, brother. I appreciate you. You're an honor and a gentleman. Yo, I'm going to break this thing down with the 5 B's, and we're going to close this thing out. Be with God. Be honest. Be prepared. Be patient. And most important, like my brother twin right here, just be yourself. I'm the big homie Vino. I appreciate you. I love you guys. You guys have a safe week. Stay motivated. And I hope this testimony has enlightened you and put you in a place of understanding that it's easier to quit, but it's so more rewarding to just hold on and just stay the course. I'm the big homie Vino, man. I salute y'all, man. Much love. Be easy.